welcome to my North Knit Corner. My name is Anne and I come to you from the south of Norway where I live with my husband and our 3 boys. This is my little corner of the internet where I talk about knitting. Welcome if you have been here before, welcome back if you're here for the first time. I have a few finished things, I have some new cast-ons. I didn't think I would get the chance to film a new episode until the end of May, but I have some time today, and since I have some things finished and some new cast-ons, then I thought that it would be nice to have or to film an episode so that the next episode won't be hours long. So I hope you have some time to spend together with me while I chat about all my knitting, and yeah, that would be nice. I have timestamps below on this episode, and of course I have information about everything I talk about in the description box below the episode. There you can find where you can find me on social media. I have links to my Ravelry projects, links to podcasts I talk about, and yeah, I hope you find the information you need there. If you don't, feel free to contact me on Instagram or Ravelry, and I will answer your questions as best I can. My first finished object is also what I am wearing, and it's the Ranunculus, a well-known pattern for most people, I guess. It's the pattern by Midori Hirose. I have knitted this in mohair from Verbit. She is a Norwegian hand dyer. And the color is called the Beach Baby. I have knitted it together with Drops Kid Silk in color 29 called Vanilla, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. The Verbit mohair yarn was 700 meters on 100 grams. And I only had one skein. It was a skein that I won in a knit along, and I really wanted to use it for a garment, but I had a scale beside me the whole time, and I weighed it to make sure that I had enough yarn and didn't run out. My plan was to knit this with short arms since I had or I didn't have a lot of yarn, but as you can see, I knitted long arms. I knitted the size 1. It's a lot of positive ease in the ranunculus, so I chose the size 1 because I don't want a lot. It is more than enough positive ease in this one. Knitted on 6mm needles, so it goes by fast. What can I say? Yeah, I weighed my yarn all the time to make sure I didn't run out, and when I was finished with the body, I still had like just a bit under half a ball of yarn left, so more than enough to knit long sleeves. I thought maybe I wanted short, but when I started to knit, I suddenly realized that I really wanted long sleeves. So that's what I went for. I did a provisional cast on at the beginning. You knit this from the top and down. I think provisional cast on is very fiddly. I always have to do it more than once, but it is a nice stretchy cast on, so I guess it's worth all the stress. But I really love the ranunculus. I have knitted it once before, and I love the fit of it, and I think it's a very beautiful structure on the yoke. Is that right? Yeah, and I really love the color of this mohair yarn, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. I did I-cord edging on the end of my sleeves. On the other one I did a ribbing, but on this I felt it was really nice with I-cord. On the bottom I have a rib, twisted rib, is that right? Which is really nice. I really like twisted rib, so yeah. Not much more to say about this other than I'm really happy with it and I'm going to use it a lot. My next finished project is a summer top. It's the Sora top by the Bluebird box, Anna Daku. Here it is. It's a bit wrinkly because I had it folded up. I have knitted this is in Mrs. Fox yarn, thin shawl yarn it's called. It's 600 meters per 100 grams, so it's fairly thin, but it's so soft and lovely. It's a really squishy yarn. I really love this. It's in the colorway straw. I knitted size 1. You use, or I used needle 3.5 millimeters on this one. I knitted with 2 strands of this yarn, but you're supposed to only use 1 strand of light fingering. But I didn't get gauge, and I tried with 2 strands just for fun, because when I knitted with 1 strand I felt it was really holey, very see-through, and I didn't like the fabric it made. And then I tried with 2 strands of the yarn, and I liked that much more, so I decided to use that. I started on a size 2, as I said last time, but because of my gauge and everything, it turned out too big and I didn't come very far, so I just ripped it back and I knitted size 1, and this fits perfect for me. So I'm off on gauge, so I was supposed to knit the size 2, but then I knitted size 1 with my gauge. Let me see. Yeah, it has this beautiful hole pattern. I'm always wondering what you call that. We call it holes, hole patterns. Yeah. But you see this beautiful, and I'm on the wrong side. This is the back. This is the front. I think it's really nice. And you have this beautiful I-cord on the top. You start knitting from the bottom with an I-cord. There's a split in the side, and you knit it all up, and then you knit front and back separately when you come to the where you split for the arms. And then you sew together on the top of the shoulders. I have sewn a bit more than was recommended in the pattern, because I felt it was just too little and the split on the shoulder was too big for my liking. So I just sewed it a few centimeters more. So this is how mine is looking. So I'm very happy with how that is now. And there's this splits on the shoulders. A very, very nice summer top. I really recommend it, and it's so soft and squishy. So really happy with this. Yeah, summer top ready. Let me hang it with the right side. So I've had a little project in my handbag just for knitting when I'm out, and it's just a headband with a twist. I finished it yesterday. I don't have a pattern for it. I just cast on 40 stitches and just knit in a long tube, and then I sew it together with a twist on the top when I have a long enough tube to fit my head. Very easy, very simple, and nice to bring when I'm out, when I just need a little project. I knitted this in Sannes Kos in the colorway, let me see, taupe. On Ravelry it is says that it is called something in German. I can't remember what it was called, but translated it is heather. So taupe, heather, I'm not sure what the right name is, but it's like a brown with some red, pinkish color in, I think. Yeah, it's very easy, and you can find instruction for how to knit a headband like this and how to sew the twist on YouTube. There's a lot of different tutorials there, so very easy project that is going to be a gift. I feel like I forget to say some things about the project, but I hope that I will have the information on the side, at least for my FOs, and the other information is below the episode. So if I forget something, I hope you find it there if you are interested. But now, whips. I am still working on my Gardi by Anna, the Bluebird box. I'm done with the cardigan. Not the whole thing, but it looks like a cardigan now. So I have 2 arms done and the body done. And this is knitted in scraps from fingering yarn, mostly sock yarn. You knit with 2 strands of yarn, and you knit with 2 different strands, 2 different colors, and then you change 1 color at a time. So it makes a really nice transition, I think. This is a lot of different colors because it's scraps, and I took what I had, and that's a little bit of fun too, to see how can they play together. So I really want to make this again because it's a lot of fun. The pattern is great, but I also really want to maybe next time knitted with a bit more, knitted with colors that I have chosen a bit more meaning. Not sure if I'm coming across with what I want to say, but anyway, with the colors that is not random. This is more random, but I did put them in groups like I showed last time, with light and dark and all this. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I'm happy with how it turned out. This is yarn from several different dyers, all Norwegian hand dyers, because that's what's accessible to me. Yeah, so really fun. On the edges there is brioche knitting. It takes some time. I feel that it hardly ever it takes some time to see a result when you knit because it goes so slow, but it turns out really nice. It's the same on the sleeves, and I knit it back and forth because that's the easiest with brioche, so I just have to sew it together, but that's okay. So all I have left now is the button band and pockets, because there's an option for pockets and I want pockets. So I'm looking forward to knitting that and having this finished. You're knitting this in garter stitch on the body, and on the arms there it's stockinette. So that's very nice because I don't really like purling all that much. So it's nice to don't have to do that. And I really like the effect it makes, and yeah. I am knitting size 2 on 3.5 and 4 millimeter needles. Yeah. So it's going to be a really nice cardigan. I think it will be perfect for spring and summer, to just have over a summer top when it gets a bit chilly, which is almost all the time here in Norway. So yeah, looking forward to having this done. It's a great pattern. Highly recommend. My next whip is the Moonset Tea by Osetta. I'm sure you have seen it. And I am knitting it in Viking Bambino. Beautiful yarn. Color 432, light green. I am this far. Let me see if I can hold it up so you can see it. It's not so easy, but let's see. Here it is so far. As you see, I have to sew this down to the back. But I'm knitting away on the body now. This is the size small, knitting it on 2.5 and 3 millimeter needles, so it goes a little bit slow, especially now that I'm done with all the parts, because you knit this in parts in the start. I felt I had like this, you know, these cords. Let me see, these cords everywhere when I was knitting on this. I feel I had 3 cords on different stitches and the needle at the same time, so it's not stressful, but it's a lot of things happening, and and things on hold everywhere, but it's fun to try something new. It's a different construction for me, and also the way that you knit the edging on the neck. It's a V-neck, but it's really nice. I love this crossover neckline here, and it's this Viking Bambino yarn, 50% cotton, 50% bambino. 50% bamboo. Is such a great yarn. It's so squishy, light. Yeah, I think this and the Viking bamboo is my favorite summer yarn. Not to knit with because it's so splitty. This is a little bit less than the bamboo. No, yeah, bamboo yarn. But Viking bamboo, it's a thicker version of this. That was really splitty and not so much fun to knit with. This is a little bit better, but it turns out to be such a great garment. Really light and thin and airy, perfect for summer. So yeah, my favorite summer yarn for sure. What else can I say? Yeah, it was many parts, so I was struggling a bit, but there are many tutorials in this pattern, which is great. I always like when you have tutorials, so you can watch videos of how things are done, because sometimes I don't understand what it's saying in the patterns, so then it's great with some support. I love when designers do that. Here you knit a lot of back and forth. So here it's a lot of purling, and when I am purling, I am knitting looser than when I'm knitting stockinette, or yeah, knitting the right side. So you can see it gets like stripy. Not everywhere, but a lot of places. And that's annoying. I tried to go down a half needle size on the purling side, but it didn't help anything. I don't know. I knit really strange, I think. Also, when I knit gauge swatches, on the rare occasion, and I like go from 4 millimeters to 3 millimeters, there are hardly any difference in the stitch count per 4 inches or what it is. I don't know. There's something strange about me. But anyway, what can I say? I tried to knit as tight as I could on the purling rows, and I will just live with the striping effect. That's okay. Maybe it will help a little bit with washing and blocking and everything, and if it doesn't, that's okay. I don't mind. I think it will be a nice summer top, even though it's a little bit stripy. So that's my moonset tee. I'm excited to have it done. It will take a while. It goes pretty slow now when I'm on the body, but when the body is done, the arms are just short. And that is lovely. Okay, my next one, also a summer top, because that's my mood these days. I want all the summer tops. I think every day it comes a new summer top in my Instagram feed that I want to knit. I think designers are coming up with all these beautiful summer tops and tees, and I want them all. But I try to knit the things that I already have planned and yarn for, and we'll see how that goes. The next one is a plan, and I had yarn for it, so that's good. It's the Abydos top by Lily Kate Makes, or Lily Kate France, which is her name. And I come really far on this. I'm knitting this in Dale Lille Lerke. It's a 53% cotton, 47, no, that's not true. 53% merino, 47% cotton. And together with or in the stripes here, it's Dale Tynn Kid Silk Erle in the color 4014. It's called denim, and this color, I didn't say, is 8150 and it's blue. I'm knitting the size 2. I got gauged on this one. I got gauged on the Moonset tee as well. I'm just saying. Hardly ever get gauged, so I'm always happy when I can, when I'm spot on gauge. Knitting size 2, 3.5, 4 and 8mm needles. The 8mm needles I used for the mohair stripes. It's a bit fiddly because it's a thin yarn and very thick needles, but it's only for a couple of rounds for the stripes, so I can live with that. That's okay. I'm done with them now, so that's no trouble anymore. Yeah. I had some issues with the tucks, which is this stripe with the Dale lerke. These ones. I didn't understand what it was saying in the pattern. I'm sure it's very easy to understand when you understand it, but I didn't, I couldn't see what it meant. So I thought maybe I understood it, so I started to do the first one, but obviously it was wrong, so I had to rip it back, and I tried to find a video about it on YouTube. Lily Kate has several tutorials in the pattern for different things, but not for the tuck, which I could have needed. So that's the only thing that I struggled with. The rest of the pattern is really great, and I'm sure maybe you would have understand how to do the tuck right away, but I didn't. So I found a tutorial on YouTube on how to do a tuck. It was in a little bit different, I think, than maybe how it was done in this pattern, but I used that method, or yeah, and I think it's okay. It looks like on the picture in the pattern, so I hope I have done it right. And I hope it's fairly even. I feel it looks like that. Some places I can see there's a little bit of, what do you call it? That I haven't picked up on the same line, so it will be a bit wavy. And I've seen some projects on Ravelry that seem very wavy. So I tried to be very consistent with picking up in the right place, but it's not always easy to see, but I did my best and I think it's okay. So now I'm done with the body, and I only have the arms left, so since they are short arms, it's very soon done. I'm very happy to have this. Yeah, you do a provisional cast on again, a bit stressful, but I did it. Isn't it provisional cast on? Let me check. Uno momento. I just have to check that I'm not lying to you, because I don't like to do that. No, tubular cast on. It's the tubular cast on, not the provisional cast on. Tubular cast on. Okay. Glad we cleared that up. I get confused with all the different cast-ons, but I did tubular on this one, provisional on this one. Yeah, and that's great because it's very flexible. And I also did a tubular cast off on the ending, but if I'm not mistaken, that's the same as Italian bind off. For me, when I looked, that's a tutorial in the pattern on how to do a tubular cast off. And for me it just looks like an Italian bind off. So that's what I did. It took forever, but it is very nice. So that's my Abydos top. The next one I am knitting on is the Koran cardigan by Rebecca Clow. And I'm shamelessly copying Francesca. I hope I'm saying the right name now. From the Italian knitter. Again, I've copied her before because, I mean, she's amazing. She makes and knits amazing things. But anyway, she made the Koran cardigan long, like a really like a beachy jacket, which I loved, in a beautiful green color. I had some yarn in my stash, and I've had it for a couple of years, that I bought on sale. Very, very cheap. 10 kroners per ball. I think that's about, is it about $1 maybe? I don't know what the currency differences are at the moment, but around $1 maybe. Not much anyway. And I bought 10 balls of it. It's drops bommel lean. I really wanted to try it, and it was cheap, so I bought 10 balls. And it's been in my stash for a couple of years because I've never found what I can use it for. But then I saw the Koran cardigan, and I saw that this could be used for that. And it's black. It's not a color that I would normally choose, but I really wanted to try this drops bommel, so I bought the black because that was all they had. Yeah, but a black Koran cardigan can be nice, and I want to knit it long. So I've started on size 2 on needles 3.5 and 4 millimeters, no, 4 millimeters and 5 millimeters, and here it is so far. It's very easy. I thought it looks so difficult and complicated, this lace pattern, but it's really not. It's a 4-row repeat, and it's very simple, and you learn it really fast. And it goes by pretty fast on 5 millimeter needles. To be honest, I only can do a few repeats every day because I get tired of it. And this yarn is not, I'm not enjoying this yarn at all. It's very stiff. It's really dead. Like there's no life in it, if you know what I mean. It's stiff, and it was so splitty. If the Viking bamboo was splitty, this is much worse. Often when I knit and I don't pay attention, I have like only a thin thread, like a sewing thread on my needles. It's terrible. No fun to knit with at all. But since I have it, I want to use it, and I'm hopeful that it will soften up in washing. Really hope so. But anyway, if it doesn't, I feel that this particular lace pattern is perfect for this yarn because it's not so hard when I knit this up in this lace, and yeah, I have hopes. I just have to pay attention so I don't have really, that it doesn't split so much, that it's only a thin thread. Yeah, but this is how far I've come, and I want to knit it almost to above my knees, I think. I think I can do that. I have 10 balls. This is 2 balls and I'm on the 3rd, and I have 7 more. So I think I can knit pretty far before I have to split for sleeves. I think it will be nice. I want to do the V-neck and the short arms too, but I really want to knit this one once more in a different yarn, probably Sandnes Line, in a more bright color, and maybe a short one that I can use with a dress. So that's something that I really want to do soon, but we'll see. We'll see. Happy with it anyway. Yes. Am I knitting on anything else? No, that was everything. Everything I'm knitting. I don't have any acquisitions this time, but I have plans. Of course, I have a lot of plans. As I said, I get inspired every day. I see a new nice summer tee or top every day. Yeah, but I want to try and knit from my stash and the plans I have already. I try my best, but sometimes I have to buy some new yarn and knit some new things that I see, but that's okay. And the most important thing is to have fun, right? Yeah. But the next one I have yarn for, it's this yarn. And my next plan, this is from Garnbutikken Fortuna, a Norwegian hand dyer. This colorway is called Antique. Very beautiful. I want to knit the Salty Air Tee by Samantha Gurin. She had a sale a little while back, so I bought the Salty Air Tee, and I bought Petal Party Crop, I think it's called, which I also really want to knit this year. Yeah, but this is going to be the Salty Air Tee. I bought this to knit the ranunculus or a love note, but now I knitted this ranunculus, and I also have half of the advent calendar from last year from Through the Wardrobe Yarn Co., which is a pink fade. I have half left after I knitted the sorrel, so I think maybe that is going to be a ranunculus too. So then I want to use this for the Salty Air Tee instead. I think that will be very nice, and I think it's my next cast on. I think, if I don't change my mind. You never know. But anyway, I'm going to, or there's going to be a knitting festival in Kristiansand, which is just 25 minutes away in a car. By car. And it's the weekend when my son is having his confirmation, so we are going to have a party and everything, but it's Saturday and Sunday, and the confirmation is on Saturday. So if I'm not too tired and low on energy on Sunday, then I want to go to the knitting festival. I only bought a ticket for the market where the vendors are, and where you can sit and knit and chat. There are different courses, but I'm not going to any one of those because since I'm not staying on the whole festival, then I just wanted to buy a ticket for the market and where you can meet people and chat and knit and everything. So I'm looking forward to that if I'm going. I hope I am. I have plans to buy yarn for the girlfriend cardigan by Anke Strik, which I was so lucky to get. I was so lucky to get the pattern as a gift. and I really want to knit that. So I hope I can find some yarn for that, and I hope I can find yarn for the petal party crop as well. We'll see what I get home with after that. But I'm looking forward to meeting people and knitting and chatting, and that's always nice. Getting inspired by other people and what they wear and what they're knitting on, and it's always fun with a knitting festival. Yeah. It's finally May. Beautiful month. I love May. The spring is closer than ever. I think maybe I said that it's spring since March, but it's here now. The flowers are coming up from the ground. The trees are getting green. The apple trees get their blossom. It's very nice. And May is a nice month in Norway. It's the Constitution Day, and we have a lot of days off. So it's always a great month. And in the beginning of each month, I usually have a summary of of how it's going with my annual plan for the year, my knitting plan. And now it's time to see how it went in April. As I said, I have a plan for the year. I've written down all the yarn I have. I've written down what plans I have for the yarn in a book. And I try to knit the things that I have yarn for as best I can. But of course, there will be things that's not on the plan, but is getting knitted too. And that's okay. I'm not hard on myself. I just like to have a overview of my stash and my plans. In April, I only knitted one thing that was on my plan. Yes, and that's the sorrel that I knitted in my half of my advent calendar from last year. And then I knitted a couple of things that was knitted with stash yarn, which is always great. So even if it's not a plan and it's knitted with stash, it's a win. So I knitted the Petite Soufflé out of stash yarn, and I knitted the Poseidon. That was a really scrappy project. Yeah, out of scraps. So that's a win for me. But of course I knitted some things with new yarn. That wasn't a plan this year, but that's okay. I knitted up the yarn I got in, so I'm happy with that. So the things that I knitted that wasn't from stash and weren't plans is the Mr. Casual Slipover Sora top, this one, and the Ranunculus. That was new yarn. I have knitted 1,271 grams in April. So it didn't go well for the plan for the year in April, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And we'll see how May is going. Maybe I can knit some more stuff from my plan. We'll see in June. I think it's time for me to say goodbye for now. If you are still here, thank you so much for sticking with me. I appreciate all of you. Thank you everyone for sweet comments. I really like to communicate with you through the comments. Thank you for all the feedback, and I would love to hear what you are knitting on. That's always fun and is giving me so much inspiration. And thank you for thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. Then you can get notified when I am having a new episode out, and it helps my channel a lot, so I can spread the knitting joy to more people. I hope you're well. Hope you're knitting or crocheting or sewing on something that gives you a lot of joy. Have a wonderful May. If it's spring or if you're going into fall, I just hope that you have a wonderful month. And I hope to see you maybe at the end of May or in the beginning of June. We'll see. There's the Constitution Day here soon, and we have the confirmation for our 14-year-old son coming up, and there's a lot of days off here during May, so I just have to see when I have the chance to film again. But until then, I just want to wish you all happy knitting, and I'll see you again. Bye for now.